got a Thanksgiving special for you today. Most of the time, a traditional like Thanksgiving meal, you eat like a lot and really, really carb heavy, and then you crash because there's so much blood in your gut that your body needs to like have some time and rest and digest. When you have POTS or any other form of dysautonomia, we can be extra sensitive. We can be extra sensitive to large meals in general, especially meals that could potentially spike our blood sugar and then drop it really low. And so that crash can hit us so much harder. So our goal is just to get a little bit of movement and a little bit of blood pumping to aid digestion. You know, whether you're doing this on Thanksgiving or you're doing it a different day, or whether you even eat a big meal today, eat your foods, enjoy the day. Let's do a little flow for our tummies to help them digest food. So let's start on your back. Let's build stability for your hypermobility. All right, we're gonna start on your back. Bonus is if you have a dog next to you that can hang out with you. Optional, but highly recommended. So we're gonna start with, I think Callie's taking charge today. We're going to start with our trunk rotation and those deep breaths. It's okay to be tired, especially after having a big meal or maybe before. I like doing some movement before I eat. All right, deep breath in. Callie, let's take a deep breath. Tuck your shoulder blades under. Take some deep breaths. And just kind of give your body what you feel like it needs today. It doesn't have to be like a specific certain amount of seconds in and a certain amount of seconds out. We just want to take some deep breaths, you know, maybe some yawns, maybe make it either active or make it really as relaxed as you can get it. But, you know, my recommendation is we're trying to aid that rest and digest. And there's still movement we can do to help with that and to help with blood sugar regulation and digestion. That is not movement that's like really fatiguing or really exhausting. So we're just going to lay here and breathe, and then we're just taking both feet at the same time and doing some gentle circles to the left and then to the right, you know, whatever direction you want to start with. And we'll go the other way. Tuck those shoulder blades under. I'm going to tuck my hands under. That's optional. Just you want to be relaxed. Let's see. We're still moving our ankles in gentle circles. All right. We're going to take our ankles and we're going to go in circles, but opposite circles. So they're going, one ankle is going to the left and one ankle is going to the right. Getting the brain, the nervous system, work it. All right, deep breath in while we're doing this. I know it's a good breath when I've triggered a yawn. All right, this time we've got both ankles going inwards towards each other. So we're just kind of switching directions. My ankle, there's a tendon popping over the bone every time I go around. You know, I'm not trying to do a lot of that, so I'll keep it gentle, but I know it's harmless and it's just my joint doing its thing. If it causes pain, specifically like a sharp pain, that's when we don't want to push through it. And a lot of times, anytime you get like snapping or pain like that, we can adjust the angle that we're doing movement by a couple degrees and make it to where it's not popping as much. Alrighty. We are going to slide your heel towards your bottom and slide it back down. Slide your opposite heel and back down. Callie, go lay down, please. All right, so we're going to do that again. We're going to slide the heel up and down and the opposite side, up and down. So bring some awareness to where the points are that are touching the mat or touching the floor. What part of your shoulder blades are touching the mat? So I'm noticing my shoulder blades are sneaking up again. Something I say in pretty much every video. So I feel like my shoulder blades kind of are flat on the ground. I feel like I have a little bit of space between my shoulders and my ears. When I pull my heel back, I can actually feel my low back coming up a little bit. And then we come back down. Just kind of observe for a minute. A lot of what stability is learning where you're holding your body. And that comes with practice and knowing, what to look for. So I do feel that when my hamstring, when I'm coming here, my back is coming off the mat a little bit. So just kind of up. I'm trying to help you see this. Let's see. Right, so this small motion, this pelvic tilt here is what's happening. So what I'm going to try this time is the same movement. It's just going to be what I'm focusing on, right? I'm not bracing and holding my back as flat as I can. My shoulders are gently engaged. I'm going to take a deep breath here while my leg is straight. And I'm going to do a little bit more of an intentional exhale. And breathe in as I come down. So during that exhale, I'm creating a little bit of tension here, right? I'm not like super bracing, but I'm pulling in a little bit, kind of zipping up just a little bit. And really using that breath. If you kind of put your hands on your lower belly and kind of practice that like blowing a candle motion, maybe even blowing some bubbles. You might feel a little bit of core, but you also might not feel a whole lot. But those muscles doesn't mean they're not working. And then we can coordinate that with the pelvic floor. So we're relaxing the pelvic floor. When we relax, when we breathe in, when we blow out, that pelvic floor kind of comes up and helps all of these also engage. And then we can't forget that our shoulders, we need to be aware of where we're holding them so that we're working the whole trunk. And I notice when I do that and I'm creating a stable surface here, my leg can move off of a stable surface without me clenching here, honoring still like my natural curvature, but without my back totally coming up and shifting up and down. These are really, really small things, but and everybody's anatomy is going to be a little bit different. So just kind of observe. We're going to do a few more of those. So breathe in as your arm goes down. As you blow out, breathe in as you come down, blow out. I don't like the belly button to spine cue because I feel like it makes you think you just need to like literally suck your belly like down. That's not what we're doing. We're just kind of starting at the bottom, pulling up, so a little bit of like a Kegel up to here. Shoulders do the rest. And when I feel like I found like that right activation, and my shoulders are also gently activated, I actually felt kind of a release in my mid back. Even though I'm doing a lower back movement, I'm creating a stable trunk, which my body responds really well to. There are other strategies if this is difficult for you, as far as knowing like how much pressure you're putting, even maybe just put your hand behind your back and feel, is the pressure staying constant when you are doing the motion? So when you're doing the motion here, are you getting less or more pressure on your hand? If you incorporate the breath and really gently blow out, is that pressure staying the same throughout the movement and then relaxing, or are you noticing differences? All right, I'm going to go to the other side. So shoulders. Here we go. Breathe in. That was a good one. The other thing is I tend to, there's not a right or wrong way to do it, but I tend to prefer having my feet flexed, so kind of pulled up towards the ceiling, because if you have a lot of neural tension from your pelvis going all the way down, pointing your toes can just pull us forward more. So it kind of takes the tension off, takes off the slack, so we can keep our pelvis a little bit less work for the pelvis. All right. Breathe in. And in between, I'm totally letting the tension go. And then we're adding it back. And that's where I tend to see people have issues, is we add tension and we don't know how to get rid of it. And some of it just comes with practice. So yeah, today's workout should feel more like a mental game, honestly. Not as much muscular. All right, let's go side to side. When your brain decides, I am done with that, then it's okay to just stop. Just go back to whatever natural breathing pattern is for you. Oxygen's good, but with motor learning, it takes a lot of repetition and random practice. So kind of, let me do my breathing, and then not doing it again until maybe a little bit later. Alrighty. Let's go on to our side. We're actually going to do our left side today, because the way that our anatomy is, hang on, postural headache, let me come back down. The way that our anatomy is, the esophagus and how it runs next to the aorta, laying on our right side, kind of can squish them together a little bit. So laying on the left side is a little bit better as far as digestion and how our esophagus, which carries the food down to our stomach, and then it goes through all of its intestines, it tends to be a better position. If you get any like reflux, or you just had a big meal, intentionally laying on your left side is great. And a lot of times our body just craves it anyways and prefers to be on a certain side. And we're just taking our deep breaths here. If you have reflux, we want to come up here a little bit of an angle. So get a pillow under your neck, but also kind of under your armpit, just so we're not torquing your neck. We want to kind of keep the mid back supported. I'm just going to put my arm under. And we're going to bring this top leg, leg comes forward, ankle up and down for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back. We're going to keep our knees together, bring that heel up and down, partial range of motion. I know you can come way up here, but I encourage you to come 25, no more than 50% of your range, and strengthen the middle range. So we're going to do this with our breath. So we're breathing in. As we blow out, a little bit of hip love. Breathe in. Going super slow. Blow out. My upper thigh is what is gently rotating to make the movement happen, not the staying still and my torquing my knee. If you get any inner knee pain, then we're doing something wrong or going too high. All right, straighten that leg, flex the foot. We're going to go up and down just for 5. you want to work on this one more, make sure you go back to week 1. All right, we're going to get our arms going. We're going to pull that shoulder kind of down, elbow at your side, palm on the belly, breathe in. As you blow out, arm comes up parallel to the floor, and then a little past that. I know y'all can go all the way back here. That's not what we're doing. So breathe in, pull that shoulder, breathe in, blow out. Come here, like 45 degrees. Stop yourself. Breathe in, blow out. That elbow is staying at my side, but it's not pinned, but we're not coming up here either. Elbow staying in. If you have difficulty with that, take a towel or a pillow and put it under your elbow to have to hold that down. Breathe in, blow out. Breathe in, blow out. Yawn. Breathe in, blow out. I honestly didn't expect to feel anything, but I'm actually feeling my shoulders. The strength is so important, but this stability and this awareness of where you're holding your body and intentionally limiting the range or intentionally controlling the range is also important. It's not that one is better than the other, it's that they both have a place. Arms straight, shoulders set, and come parallel to the floor, up to like shoulder height, and then back down. So let's see, breathe in. As you blow out, we're coming up to shoulder height and then back down. I forgot to breathe there. Breathe in. Many things to focus on. All right, and last, we're gonna come here. We're pulling that bow and arrow back. And forward. I'm gonna push my hips forward a little bit more. My top knee is gonna come forward a little to help hold my pelvis in space. I'm gonna see if I can get my mid back to do more of the movement while pushing my hips forward. So I'm not gonna go as far. Deep breath in and out. And last one. All right, I know some of you are not going to be happy if we don't even it out. So we'll do the right side and then we'll call it a day. All right, so let's see where we started. We're going to start with the ankle. We're going to come forward. We're coming up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. I actually felt my stomach acid there, so I am going to support my head up when we do this after eating. Left side is just so much better. All right, breathe in, blow out. We're gonna come up, partial range. If you think you're going the right height, you're probably going too high. Leading here. Hips forward, bring that leg back. We're doing 5, 1, here, 3, 4, 5. Shoulder about our side. Roll our shoulder, breathe in. Blow out. Breathe in. Blow out. And the breath itself is what really matters. But as you're thinking about like your breathing, it's not just a breath in and out. One, it forces you to actually make sure you're breathing, which is important. But two, what we're doing is every breath in, we are intentionally relaxing, and that pelvic floor is moving down, and we're releasing tension. And it's going to take practice, but so you know what to focus on. And then when you're blowing out, really just a forceful blow, but that's when it's okay to do a little bit of a Kegel. The issue is when people like hold tension in their pelvic floor at all times and never let it go, and then that's just going to cause more issues. Okay, resume. Breathe in, blow out. Breathe in. And my wrist is trying to stay neutral. And what I noticed as I started getting tired is my wrist wanted to do the work. But I always want to see what's happening at the joint above and below what we're working. So you want to try to keep that wrist neutral so that we're using the shoulder. And I feel work here. All right, last thing we're going to do our rotation. We are rotating. Deep breath in and out. It does help to have your neck supported for this one. Pushing my hips forward. And do as I say, not as I do. Oh, my back didn't actually pop that time. All right. Enjoy your turkey or your food or family or friend or alone time, whatever you're doing today. Thanks for joining for the Thanksgiving special. And I'll see you tomorrow.